Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new video by myself, Mr. Feudal. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 tips for Last Oasis.
Nomad, do you remember what I have told you? If you find your trousers full of sand, you've landed in the wastes. Now shake it off and begin moving. The sun is near. It will consume this place.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. These are my top 5 tips to playing Last Oasis for beginners or newcomers. So, tip number 1. Once you launch Last Oasis for the first time, you will be put into a Cradle server. This is essentially where you're going to be learning how to play the game. Now, on screen you'll probably see a tutorial in the top left hand corner called New Journey. This tutorial is critical and it is important. Follow it. It will grant you fragments which are used to level up your character, as well as skill points which give your character better damage output, a higher health pool, higher stamina, or faster speed. It is important that you follow this tutorial to the point, as it will also grant you your first Firefly Walker. Okay, so here's tip number 2. If you follow the tutorial, you'll have yourself a Firefly Walker. Now let me tell you a little bit about the Firefly Walker. If you follow the tutorial, you will have a cargo storage, a water storage and a gear storage. Now you can also upgrade the maneuverability and the durability of your walker. As you can see, you can also place items on top of your walker. For example, your cooking pot. You cannot place a bed on these things. A bed can only be placed on the ground. However, if you have leveled up your water storage, you've upgraded your water storage and placed water inside your Firefly is now a mobile spawn point, which is pretty cool, especially if you forget to build a bed. Now, another thing about the Firefly, if you've noticed from right now, there's no wings on a Firefly. You need to manually add these by going into the tech tree and updating your tech tree to be able to learn the wings for your Firefly. Now, adding wings to your Firefly allows a bit more maneuverability and also kind of shows off your guild colours, or if you're solo it shows off, you know, your colours, your own colours on the wings, which is a really nice touch. Now, one other important part of a Firefly is the water storage. Now, I've already spoke about it, but here's the critical part of the water storage. It allows you to move out of the Cradle and across to different servers where other people may have not ventured yet. So it is important that you level up your Firefly, keep all the health of the components that are on it, like for example the legs, nice and healthy, make sure it's not damaged, make sure that the water storage is as full as it can be, Then what you want to do is you want to go to the edge of the server that you're currently in and then leave it. From here, you can take your Firefly and yourself, or if there's anybody else standing on the walker with you, to a different server. So these are the important parts of the Firefly that you need to take into consideration when you're moving around. Don't waste it, it is very important early game. Okay, so here's tip number 3. What you want to do is you want to farm early levels and fragments as much as possible. Once you've left the cradle, you can no longer go back. Now, it is important that you start fragment hunting and leveling up at ASAP, as soon as possible, because other players have got the same mindset as you. They want to get out of the cradle into the real world, and they want to start farming up fragments and farming experience to level up your character. Now you can do this by killing Rupus. Rupus will have little villages that you can attack, and you will end up spawning fragments. These fragments, if you farm them up, you can learn new things, learn to make new tools, armor, new walkers. You can learn to build a base, you can learn to do a lot of different things. Now, you can also go to crash sites. Crash sites can be large mechanical wrecks or small wooden structures where there's maybe a pot or a barrel sitting there, or maybe there's a little post, a little wooden post, and it's got a little bag on it. Loot these things. These are really, really important to find, as they'll hold fragments and sometimes items. So that's tip number 3. Farm fragments and experience as early as you possibly can. Alright, so here's tip number 4. The grappling hook on your left arm, and one that you would have created in the tutorial, is a very important tool as well. It allows you to swing out of danger and also ascend to different locations that might have different resources. But the grappling hook has also an offensive purpose. By grappling onto enemy walkers, ascending onto the top of it and attacking the driver and the occupants of that walker. Now it can also be used in another offensive manner. Now, here I've targeted the wing, and whilst holding E, I constantly mashed the spacebar, and you saw there I managed to get onto the Firefly even though it was further away from me. I managed to close the distance very, very quickly, and also kill the occupant of that Firefly. Now this is something that you should learn to do. Maybe practice with your guildmates or practice with your friends. Get them to drive by, and if you can target the wing, holding E and pressing the spacebar multiple times, you will close the distance on that walker and you will be able to climb up and attack them. So this is one key tip to have with the grappling hook. It's even better if you upgrade it eventually, but for right now, as a new player, use it in a offensive manner. If you spot a Firefly, hold E and smash the spacebar, you will get onto that Firefly no problem. Okay, so my 5th and final tip to you guys, and this is probably a really obvious one. Try and play Last Oasis with a little group, or a big group if you can. Try and play with your friends. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable, and it makes farming fragments easier, makes getting walkers easier, and makes getting resources a lot easier. Basically makes the game a lot more enjoyable. And I know there are solo players out there who probably don't like playing with groups, and I feel for you. I do understand you like playing solo. It's perfectly fine. You can do that, there's no problem with it. But if you run into a guild, if you run into a larger guild or a larger group, they are gonna probably hunt you. Okay, so try and play with your friends, or try and forge alliances. If you're a solo, try and group together with other people. So folks, I hope this kind of helped you guys out, kind of inspired you to maybe try Last Oasis. This has been my top 5 tips for Last Oasis. I've been Mr. Feudal. I'll see you all another time.